Welcome back to the 5x5. I'm your host David, and this is The Drive. And thank you guys for riding along with me as I kind of ramble, mumble, tumble along from home or to wherever I'm going. I just happen to be going home because I just got off work. And I like hanging out with you guys. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you're having a great start to your, the weekend. This is really my Monday. I always say that Fridays are my Mondays because it starts my work week. But I hope you guys are doing good and have a great weekend, safe. But you know, what's been going through my head since about, what's been going through my head for like 2 or 3 weeks now, maybe a month or so. But today, more specifically, remember that old saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And that's true in some respects. Although, and I think you teach kids that but they don't really know because they think that's, you know how kids, they say one thing and another kid says another, and they go back and forth. It was just one of those kind of countermeasures, like the double dog dare and the triple dare and all that. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words never hurt me. But, you know, that's kid stuff. And even though I'm saying it today because I have a coworker who is has his mind set on he's trying to destroy me, but he's not intelligent enough to do it. And I've asked upper management to take care of this problem and this person. Today he just crossed a line, you know. And so I guess what I'm saying is about that saying, before your words didn't hurt me, but now you have pushed into an issue to where you're affecting my job. You can affect my performance. And I know people say, well, you can only be affected by things that you allow to affect you. But you get tired of being the target of somebody else's insecurities. And that's what it comes down to. This person is so insecure. And I tell people all the time, I'm just David. I'm nothing special, you know, and especially when it's pertaining to my job. I take pride in my job. I don't care if I was flipping burgers at McDonald's. I would be proud. I would be a proud burger flipper. And thing is, some of these burger places around here could use my help. You know, and I don't understand where we, as some of us Americans, and we think that maybe we're too good or this job's beneath me. And I've never felt like that. Now, I've had jobs that I don't like, and I'm like, oh, why am I doing this job? I could be doing something else. But that never affected my performance. And so today, I come into work, and and I can't speak too much about in what I specifically do, but I work in home healthcare. You guys know that. And so one of my clients shared with me that my relief work. Well, let me rewind. This morning I get a phone call from this particular coworker of mine that he's always trying to find excuses to not do his job. And so he was telling me I had to do something because he wasn't able to do it. And he was like, well, you had to do it to be ready for you at 2:00, this particular thing that had to be done. I'm like, well, you don't get off to 3. Why can't you do it? That's part of your shift. And his simple reason was because he didn't want to. He didn't think he should have. He didn't think he should have had to do it. And I'm like, well, whatever. And he's like trying to go off on me once again. And if anybody knows me, you know, I don't take a whole bunch of stuff off of anybody, you know, but I try to keep peace because we work together, kinda. And the goal ultimately is to provide good services to our clients. And so I just hung the phone up on him because I'm on my time. I don't have to take your calls. You're not my boss. I don't have to talk to you. And so obviously he didn't like the fact that I hung the phone up on him. Well, stop trying to get out of your job and you won't get the phone hung up in your face. Now, maybe that was a little rude and you shouldn't hang up on people. But at this point, I was done with the irresponsibility in his job performance and what he does. He's just there trying to collect the paycheck. There's a lot of people in this area that's what they do. They want to come to work and do as little as possible to collect the paycheck, because then on the flip side of it, it can be very, very easy money, especially when you get into overtime and there's no real overtime caps. There are some people in the company, they're probably getting 40 to 50 hours overtime a week. I ain't trying to work like that. But even though I should, because there's a lot of things coming up that I need to pay for, but it's not that. I'm there, and I'm sincere when I say it. I'm there to take care of the clients that I serve and that have been put in my charge to take care of. And so when I get to work later on, I hadn't thought about it, but I knew there was going to be some stuff behind it. So I come in and he's mean mugging and not saying nothing and kind of slamming stuff. Anything, and I'll tell you, anything that I say about anyone, I am more than man enough to say it to your face. I'll repeat it. You might not like it, but I will repeat it. And so when he leaves and I get the information that the thing that I've never had to deal with on any job, and I've been working since I was, 16, 17 years old, is my sexuality. And if you guys are listening to the show, I'm gay, no big deal, because for me, I'm David, an individual, a human first, and the gay part doesn't come into a lot of my conversations because that doesn't define me, just like my color does not define me. And so it shows your intelligence when you go after the easy stuff. If you want to talk about me, at least be creative. Oh, he's fat. Okay. He's black. People don't know how to drive. I had to somebody that was stopped at a green light. Where do they do that at? And a little warm and see people are out. People kill me. Learn how to drive. See, that's what you get on the drive show. You hear a little bit of that was lukewarm road rage. Anyhow, and so he shares with the people that I serve. Well, the thing is, I don't go into telling people, especially in this particular job, because that can come back to haunt you, and not from the company, but for the people you serve. And and they have every right to be served by whom they want to be served by. It's their choice, it's their right. I can't make them take services from me. But when you start sharing, and the thing is, this person knows nothing about me. Now, he may have heard some stuff, because yes, I'm gay, but I'm not attracted to you because you're dirty, one. You have a beat up bucket, too. There's nothing just because you're straight that I will be attracted to in you. Anyhow, and so he told them that he used the F word. He called me the FAGGOT word. And so I had to, not that I had to defend, I just act like it wasn't a big deal, because it needed to be, I needed to keep a cool head, not to expose myself to say, because it's not about the company, because there's people in the company that do know. It's about the clients that I serve, and I can't have that being used against me, and which it could come back to haunt me, but I don't think it will, but it's always a possibility. And so I made it home, and so he says, no, not him, and all this other shit, ugly stuff that was said about me. I didn't even take that out. My car is tripping. Sorry. And so the big F word was used, and so, but my thing is, it didn't hurt me as much as it did offend me, because you said that to gain. You think you're gaining something by exposing that part of my life, which is no one's business, and I'm not ashamed of who I am. But there's a time and place for everything, and then some people aren't as tolerant, or accepting. And I need to pay rent. I need to pay gas, water, electric, all that. So you have to keep up. And when I go to work, my sexuality doesn't come in play. I'm David that you hired to do a job. That's it. Now, whether somebody knows, because I don't hide my life. I go, not that I've been recently. I go to the gay bars. I've lived in this area all my life, so it's not like people don't know, and it's not like I hide it from anyone. And so he did it to gain something, to take something away from me, to thinking he was being smart. And he said I was an asshole and I was a jerk, but it has nothing to do with me, and that's why I had to realize it had to do with your incompetence, and you're jealous, and you're a hater. And I'm like, why do people do that? I don't understand. Now, I'll talk about people, but like I said, anything I say I will repeat, but I won't talk about people like this. I'm just telling you a story now, but behind a computer screen, behind text messages, behind Facebook messages, that's all well and good, because you can do that and you can feel a little bit of some superiority. But when you're in my face, and I talk shit just like the next person, but I never go after anybody. I never say anything that is not being a joke to gain any ground. I will tell the truth. If somebody is a poor worker, yes, their work is horrible. Or, yes, they did this at their job that wasn't right. I'll say that all day long, because that's just who I am. That's that crazy Virgo in me. And I think that's what they can't tolerate, because I'm very, very specific in how things are done and ran at my site. And, I would say 85% of the work is done by me. So, because I know, this is just, again, a Virgo thing. If I know if it's not done correctly, then then I'm gonna have to redo it anyhow. So I might as well go ahead and do it. And I've told you guys this 1,000 times before, but he can't take it. No, he's so insecure. Do you, boo? That's all I can. That's all I can suggest. Do you? You don't have to worry about what I'm doing, because I'm making your job easier. You're not making my job any easier. By the things that you create. And I never understood that about people at work. Why do people talk about other people to gain a foothold, or to advance themselves? Because eventually you will be exposed for not knowing what you're supposed to know, or not doing the job you was hired to do. And then they're like, you were a worthless sack of shit that couldn't do his job. And so I called upper management, and I'm like, look, this has been going on since before Christmas with this person, and it's just time for it to stop. And I told her, I said, and because my company does have a policy against discrimination for sexual orientation. And so this lines up with the policy. And not that I won't see anybody lose their job, but he has to go. And so, but they want to keep things hush-hush, because they're not doing what they want to do. So I have to be very, very meticulous in what I document and how I document it, because it can be switched around really quick. Because he has family members that work, and not in upper management, but in the office environment. And his father works there as well. And I'm like, you know what? I had to be careful with it, but I told her, I said, so that's why you have to tell this, you can't let these things go a couple days, because when I told my boss before, and he didn't handle it, he let it blow over, and they're like, well, we'll see if it dies down. And my thing is, and when I was speaking to her, she's like, well, we'll get you both guys in and see what's going on. I'm like, I'm not the one with the problem. Talk to him. But I'm thinking, well, I probably need to be there, because he might try to flip the script. So I'll be there to say, hey, you're telling a lie, you know. And it's just, and I don't want to go through that on my job. You know, I enjoy my job as it is. I have limited, very, very limited. Like today was the first day I actually talked to my boss in 3 weeks. You know, because he don't need to talk to me because I do his job. So if it's only time he calls me if something that he needs finished and needs to be done, you know, right and done quickly so he can just swing by, pick it up and turn it in, that's when he calls me. But I've kept everything up. Like tonight I was finishing all the end of month stuff. And because tomorrow is March. Happy March. Yeah, we're going into the spring, y'all. I think we have like 12, 13, no, maybe 20 days. I don't know. But it's spring is coming. So I'm like, what do? You know, I want to say sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. But I'm offended. And how do you, because I don't want to be exposed to my clients, not because I'm ashamed, because I'm not, because I don't want the possible, and I'll get a lot of angry emails about, you know, not being a proud gay man and all that stuff. You know, I'm a proud man that needs a roof over his head and needs a car to drive and needs to survive. And if I have to keep my sexual orientation private to myself, which it is, because people use that to I'm stuttering to say that you're not good at your job, or for a reason to have a reason, because there's no laws in the state of Indiana to protect gay, lesbians, or bisexuals or transgendered workers, employees. There's no laws here in Indiana. And, you know, just thinking about the whole Arizona thing, and I talked about that on a few shows, you know, it could turn really bad. So I'm sitting out here waiting in the welfare line to get a check and get some food. You know what I'm saying? So I had to play it. Like, what do you do? And I know my company, hopefully, they will stand to policy. But the bad thing is, I'll still have to work with this person's father. And remember a few months ago when the person cut the ear and I had to go back to work? That's the dude's father. And I don't know what he has against me. I've never did anything to this person, but ask him to do his job and do my job. So what do you do? Guys, I need some advice from you. So you can comment here, or you can comment on the Facebook page, or comment on the blog, and facebook.com/the5x5, completely spelled out. And then send me a tweet. You know, hashtag the drive 5x5, and at the 5x5 on Twitter, and the 5s are numerical, just like on the blog, the 5x5.blogspot.com. Thank you guys for letting me rant a little bit. This has been The Drive. I'm David from the 5x5, and we'll see you next time. Good night.